Hello viewers, this is CA Niranjan Oak. This video is showing the basic requirements of configurations for TDS scrutiny. LaserVision helps you in scrutinizing tally data for TDS. Though LaserVision is trained for automatic tally configurations, there are some problems with tally because tally is very flexible. One user can have different groups for TDS, different ledgers for TDS. So this video will be explaining you what are the basic requirements. So whenever you find difficulties in getting TDS results, you can visit this video and you can go through this video, and then you will understand what are the basic configurations are there so that you can resolve your problem. So you have to go to configurations, and there are basic requirements like you can see LaserVision picks TDS instances from creditors, debtors, fixed assets, cash, bank, provisions, prepaids, loan to NBFC, etc. So you have to configure all those details. I am here configuring fixed assets because name of the fixed asset is not default name by Tally. The name has been changed. That's why I have to manually configure these details. So I have configured fixed assets. I have configured loans and liabilities because again name has been changed. So whenever there is a change in name, you have to configure this manually. Then again I have to configure creditors. So from these configurations, LaserVision will pick up the data which is required for TDS calculations. Also, you have to configure TDS payable ledgers. So by default, duties and taxes are mapped for TDS, but you have to configure provisions also, because in this case TDS payable ledgers are kept under provisions also. Now I am going for voucher type configurations. If at all there are different voucher types, you have to configure, and the other configurations. This configuration is not required for TDS, but whether your tally company is individual HUF or any other status company, that is more important, because TDS for rent is depending upon the status of the company. So if your tally company is for individual or HUF, then TDS on rent the calculations for TDS on rent will be different, and for other status the calculations will be different. Now in TDS mapping, you can see TDS ledgers are mapped automatically category wise. If the TDS payable ledger is only one ledger without different categories, and all the TDS entries for different categories are posted through that TDS payable ledger, then you have to LaserVision configure it as combined. In that case, software pick up the TDS categories from expenditure level configurations. Now I am going for next configuration. LaserVision is automatically configuring. Now you can see this is the most important configuration for TDS scrutiny. LaserVision automatically maps the categories from nomenclatures. It reads the nomenclatures as well as what are the TDS payable ledgers mapped in category configuration. You can have multiple TDS categories also, like in advertisement there can be a contractor TDS or professional TDS also. Also depending upon provision or prepaid entries, TDS can be calculated. For example, in case of audit fees, TDS is calculated on provisions, or in case of AMCs, TDS is calculated on the basis of prepaid entries. Now in rules, so before going to rules, you can see there is a loans and advances option, and you have to tick mark the details. The parties which are under loans and advances, you can check for TDS. You can tick mark the check boxes for check for TDS, and then software will calculate the TDS for those parties or those ledgers. Again, in case of NBFC, if TDS is deducted after the EMI, in case of the NBFC, this happens like you pay EMI through direct, you pay the EMI directly another per credit card. In case of TDS on NBFC, what happens? The EMI is deducted automatically from bank, and you have to deduct TDS additionally, that you keep under loans and advances as a receivable. So whenever you find the TDS on interest receivable on NBFC, you have to tick the checkbox for TDS, and you have to find the NBFC for which EMI has been paid. So software goes to that NBFC ledger, sees the total amount of interest, and check whether 10% of that interest amount has been deducted or not. And in rules, there should be tick mark for TDS scrutiny. So this is the tick mark for TDS scrutiny, and when I run scrutiny, I will get the result for TDS. Now software is running scrutiny in background window. It is checking all the ledgers, and now it will give me the report for TDS scrutiny. You can see other results are not there, only TDS scrutiny result is there. And if you go for TDS scrutiny result, you will get all the reports. Now these reports are already explained in the video, so this report will help you for scrutiny of TDS. These are the basic configurations. बघ काय एडिट करायचं काय त्यातलं 15. So this is the scrutiny of TDS, and there are 10 instances from where TDS is captured. One is amount paid or payable to creditor, then advance paid to creditor. We have seen in many cases debtors are treated as creditor also. So only one ledger is opened which is kept under debtors, and it is treated as debtor as well as creditor. So if any amount paid to debtor and if there is a TDS applicability is there, Ledger Visions captures that instance also. Then direct cash payment, direct bank or OD payments are there. Then provision prepaid entries are there. Loans and advances entries are there. Interest paid to NBFC is also there. So these are the details from where it captures. You can see loan from NBFC. I will just explain how this works. If you can see, this is the voucher amount, actual TDS and calculated TDS. If you go to Tally and find out the details like NBFC, so when you go for column the details, you will get the amount of total interest paid to NBFC is 30,000. Now in case of NBFC, you have to pay EMI first, then you have to deduct the TDS. So when you deduct the TDS, you have to keep it under loans and advances as receivable, and this is the entry for TDS. So technically, if 30,000 rupees are paid, then 10% of 30,000 should be 3,000, but this amount is lesser amount. Only 2,000 is deducted as TDS. That's why software is showing that there is a less reduction of TDS is there. Next report is party-wise summary. Here parties are shown. So parties, then TDS categories are shown, TDS rates are shown, reasoning is given, what is the amount of expenditure is given, and if at all actual TDS and calculated TDS is matching, it will be shown as pass, otherwise it will be shown as fail. You can see actual calculated TDS is 3,000 as just I explained in NBFC case, and actual deducted TDS is 2,000, so it is termed as fail. And next is TDS expenditure and rate wise report. So this is very important report. The categories of TDS are given, rates of TDS are given, parties are also given, and importantly expenditure ledgers are also given, and the TDS status is also given. So you can download this report to Excel, and with the help of these filters you can have your 34A table also.